Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to sunny Glenelg Lacrosse Club. Yet again, turned out quite a popular venue for our national tournaments down here in South Australia. But thank you very much for tuning in. It's free lacrosse again for you today. And today we are proud to be bringing you the big championship matchup between South Australia and Western Australia. Just getting underway. We'll just tune in quickly to head umpire for today's game, Steve Green.
And in the box are
Alan
and Polly. All right, bit of a holy day, Easter Sunday, April Fool Day. This is a holy sport. There we are paying our respects to the Creator, and because it's about respect, we want you to respect your opponents, respect yourselves, and respect us, and it'll be a great game. The game is all about finding the ball and getting the ball, and we will reward you. As a side note, there are some special conditions about a pile of mud over there. Talk to your coach. Certainly if it goes anywhere near it, we're going to have to help you out. Yep. Goalkeepers shake hands. Gentlemen, meet your opponents, and good luck.
Good on you, buddy. I'll give you some balls.
Thank you.
A stirring pre-game there from today's head referee, Steve Green. Of course, today's officiating panel, Steve Green, Shane Abbott and Brendan Pinkerton. Running around in the box today, we have CBO, the sandwich thief as he's commonly known, Alan Frost. We also have Polly Farmer down there running around as bench manager. Joining me in commentary today, proud to have former South Australian coach, current State League coach, Tony Watts. Tony, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Jimmy, fantastic day down here today. The suns are shining and it's Easter Sunday is looking good, and I'm just wondering who will get the chocolates today.
Well, you're just wondering what South Australia's going to show up today, aren't we? Western Australia have been fairly consistent throughout the week, put in a pretty good performance on day one, pushed Victoria, but South Australia's day one against Victoria probably wasn't as pretty as what they would have liked. So it'd be interesting to see which South Australia shows up today. As we're underway here, Western Australia, Tyler Redmond getting the first possession there, kicking the ball down into attack for Western Australia as they just look to kick the ball along today, get everyone a touch, get everyone into the game. Of course, huge game, huge stakes today. Of course, Victoria have defeated both of these sides. Defeated South Australia 22-6 on day one. Huge second half performance. And then, of course, they defeated Western Australia yesterday 12-8. Probably a little flattering to the Sandgropers. Victoria did get ahead before a big last quarter, got it close. But, of course, everything on the line today. Winner goes through as Western Australia look to put the ball on the inside. And a bit of turnover on this year's team, Tony.
Yeah, look, there's a fair bit of turnover on both teams, and the one thing the other day with commentating in the SA Vic game, I noticed that South Australia will really need to tighten up on their defences as the ball's knocked down. It's probably a good spot to start it.
Must have heard you in their ears.
Must have heard me in their ears, but yeah, they've certainly coming out there. Joel Tilbrook just knocking that down and carrying it to the halfway line, and we've got a 1 minute penalty here by the look of it.
Certainly going to need a big performance today from their defence. They've certainly got the calibre of player in there. I mean, James Burgess in the cage again today for South Australia. Had a terrific series last year, was the all-star keeper. For Western Australia today, Jay Bidwell-Barton starting in the cage. First year under 18. Huge load on his shoulders today, but of course he's been the Northern Thunder's goalkeeper for the last 2 years at the under 15 level, so he's no stranger to big games. Bidwell-Barton from the Wanneroo Joondalup Lacrosse Club. As South Australia just look to get into their man upset here. Seem to be running a 3-3.
Yeah, they seem to run a 3-3 with a double cutter here the other day, and just sneaking down the back corner. As I said, Coach Mangan loves that one where he just sort of kicks the ball one side most times and opens up a bottom corner. But there's some movement here, and they're certainly rotating for that bottom corner. So there's the first shot off the bar.
Ring-a-ding-ding-ding. Puts one off the pipe early here. Ball meet pipe. The South Australia certainly looking to push there. Great shot from Hamish Mathwin. He's been their star offensive player so far with 6 goals so far this week. Mathwin's been pretty good, hasn't he?
Yeah, look, absolutely been fantastic. Got 4 yesterday in one of the games, and they're all looking, you know, they're very much outside shooters here at the moment. So as the penalty just expires for the first one, and WA getting out of that one without a score on the board,
yeah.
So back to even.
Yeah, pretty good. Jack Heppingstone, one of the captains there, pushing. They've got a big, it's a big defence, Western Australia. Quite rangy, probably not as physical as Coach Gavin Levy would like, but they're big, they're quick, they're athletic, and they tend to throw pretty good sticks. So a good defence Western Australia have had thus far this week, and they'll be no doubt put to the test today as South Australia have a look. Cody Rosenthal.
Cody Rosenthal, look, there's a good double there, good double. And the ball's just hit the ground, but Dylan Wood with the back up there. And Dylan's been shooting them from, as his normal customary, low to high from outside. So they'll be looking at him to probably get a couple of shots on this keeper just to test him out from range.
Yeah, but it's important for South Australia to get off to a good start today, isn't it? They no doubt were obviously reeling from their day one performance against Victoria and would no doubt be concerned, I guess, a little bit at WA pushed Victoria yesterday in parts. You'd think a quick start would be important for their confidence today, wouldn't it?
Yeah, look, a goal on the board early for SA would certainly settle them. You know, they have the ability to score, and this is the one with Hamish Mathman around that corner. Got 3 the other day from that exact move, so they'll be looking at doing that again. But you know, the one thing I hear out here at the moment is that WA's voice is a lot louder, especially in this defence, than the SA guys, as we have.
Please.
So we just have something going on here. We just check in with Steve Green.
At the moment, simultaneous fouls, interference. It's all good. The ball's dead. Behave. All right.
Okay, so we've got simultaneous interference calls there by the 2 guys sitting in the crease. So both just giving each other a little bit of a razz up, and
Greeny's saying, I've just about had enough of that, and I'm not tolerating that today. Giving him the old no doubter, letting him know there's a fantastic cut on the inside there.
a great save there from the keeper.
Kai Selick there, just getting on the inside. Bidwell Barton comes up. Bidwell Barton.
So here we go, little one over the top here, but great pickup from the long stick. And
good save there by Bidwell Barton down in defence for Western Australia as they look to try and just push the ball down, get a little bit settled. They had a nice little stint of defence there just to try and brush off the cobwebs and get him into today's game. That's Lucas Koswara with the ball, just moving the ball around the top. He's one of the captains for this West Australian side. Need a big game from him today. Over to Ethan Moyer. Ethan Moyer and Koswara both been doing a pretty good job hitting the goals.
yeah, look, Moyer the other day had a fantastic game, and you'd be looking to see him certainly troubling the scorer today.
Yeah, wily player, loves to play at X. Certainly knows where the back of the net is, but is also a fantastic creator. One of the up-and-coming stars down at the Phoenix Lacrosse Club. Big things ahead for Ethan Moyer, first-year player, as Western Australia just looks like they settle into their 6-on-6 offence, and as they kick the ball around the back to Moyer. Moyer likes what he sees here. He's got the short stick match-up here in Selick.
There's a 2-on-1 this side if they can kick the ball here, just as we speak. Shut that down well.
Finn Morgan kicks the ball back over to Moyer. Moyer's having a look, kicks the ball, puts it up high to Will Sinski, leading goal scorer heading into today for Western Australia.
Oh, great little look!
Great
little look inside, and
Burgess nearly missed that one, didn't he?
He thought about it 3 times then, but managed to get it into his stick. And James Burgess, this is where they struggled a little bit the other day. They were looking at the clear and just not hitting those passes. And again, we see that, and turnovers here can be very costly.
Gee, you read the game pretty well, Tony. You should consider coaching. Ever thought about it?
No, I've got less hair now than I did, but you know what? I'm sure I'll be bald by the time I actually get to the point of finishing my coaching. But yeah, look, that's the one thing that SA had the other day that they've really got to tighten up on, and it's you know, it's almost like he needs a shorter pass there, get a shorty down, and just help him out to come up through the top there as we have a timeout called here.
Coach Gavin Levy not liking what he's seen. Their offense has looked all right in part, certainly not setting the world on fire at the moment, and Coach Levy wants to have a chat to his attack just to see what they can do about that. Of course, fantastic day down here at Glenelg, so of course if you're looking for something to do, feel free to come down. I just want a big shout out today to the guys down at Kennard Hire. We've managed to get the scaffolding in place for today, and it's been very generously donated by Vince and the team down at Kennard's. So if you are local, come and see Vince down at the team at Kennard's Hire in Glanmore for all their expert advice and quality equipment hire. Big thank you very much. We can't do what we can do without the assistance of some fantastic contributors and the guys down at Kennard's Glandor. Thank you very, very much. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, Kennard's Hire.
In Glandor?
Glandor. You know what? You should be a South Australian.
Oh, let's not get silly, Tony.
But I love the fact that we've got Marty Baker, I believe, up the top there on the camera, and
of course doing a fantastic job as always.
He's actually gone up in the world.
He has.
We like him up the scaffold. So let's hope he catches all the important things today that will happen here. So let's see what Coach Levy's brought out with his offense here. I think both offenses were were not moving their feet as greatly as they should have in that first little stint. But there's some nerves out here. It is a big game for both of them, and you know, we look to see what that timeout brings, and WA will bring it into attack.
Well, there isn't. Yeah, look, and you only get 2 timeouts a half, so you're going to want to make sure if you're calling a timeout on offense that you get your offensive set exactly where you need to go. It looks like a very deliberate 6-on-6 plan here from Western Australia as they're in the 2-3-1. Sitting Tyler Redmond on the crease as they kick the ball around. Western Australia up the top to Coswara to Moyer.
They're almost playing in a opening up there, but they're almost playing in that SA playing in that zone. And there's a shot from outside.
Coswara with the laser from the outside. He's put that one down low, and that's a fantastic start for Western Australia.
I think that's just like my bowling at the moment. I heard that fizz through the air, and James just didn't get down low enough to that one. And WA on the board first, and obviously the timeout from Coach Levy was really well taken by the boys, and they've followed his plans to a T, I would believe.
You know Gav's going to claim that.
Yeah, look, we'll give that one to Gav, because any time a coach calls a timeout and they score within 40 seconds after, it must be the coach.
Oh, absolutely.
So here we go. We've got Mathman in the centre here, who has
fantastic little pop out the front there. He's got on the fast break as Western Australia look to close. They're going to need to cover the break, and they do so.
That was a great defence there. Just shut that down.
Yeah, all three got in very, very quickly, and Mathman didn't leave them a lot of time to do it. There was a fantastic little face-off there.
As SA just bring on Eric Rigney for the long stick, coming into attack. Eric has some motors. He's first time state player, I believe.
Yeah, first time. Yeah, we previewed him on the ALN. Got some great intel out of South Australia that they're expecting big things from Rigney over at the Eagles in 2018 and beyond. A real up-and-comer for South Australia, just as Mathman looks to take the split.
And again, great defence there from WA. Just hung the stick out at the last minute and just waited on it. And we've got a fastie here now. So WA bringing the ball down.
Jaden Rodriguez, he's certainly got some wheels, kicks the ball across the top.
And well shut down there by SA initially. The bottom left corner, or bottom right corner, sorry, was open. And just shut it out enough to save it down. And WA will sub up here and bring some fresh players in.
As they just kick the ball to ex-Western Australia. Just having a look now, just asking questions at the South Australian defence, just poking and prodding.
Moyer found his way into the middle there, and no one picked him up for a second. So
he'd like that shorty matchup.
There.
Oh, Nick Brothers.
Another cracking.
Found some room on the outside, and that's the Phoenix connection right there as Nick Brothers rips one off stick side up high. Puts that one through, and Western Australia get a second one as they race out to a 2-0 lead. 9 minutes to go.
Yeah, and look, SA then just didn't rotate their defence and literally had the 2 on the 1 on the bottom corner, but the defence wasn't talking. And unfortunately, look, it was a bit like the Victoria game the other day. They really want to tighten those things up because you don't need a guy scoring from about 6 or 7 metres out.
Well, no, it's certainly a jump from club level, isn't it? You can't give them any sort of space whatsoever in order to be able to do what they need to do. I mean, it just needs a split second, and Brothers certainly made them pay as Western Australia look to push into offence again.
Another great little flick out in the centre there from Thomason. That's his second face-off, and he's put it out the back to his counterpart and brought WA back in, but the ball's just hit the deck here, so just missed body and stick.
That's Daniel Bowater, player to keep an eye on, according to Coach Levy.
So SA really need a shutout here. You know, this offensive play, SA really need a shutout and to bring the ball in their offense and have a little bit of offense.
They seem a bit flat-footed, don't they? We made the observation when we were watching the warm-ups today. South Australia certainly didn't seem to have much pep in their step heading into this one, whereas at the West Australian end in their warm-ups they were really zinging, and it seems to be showing here a little bit early, doesn't it?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, the defence, there's no real talk out there from the defence that I can hear. The WA guys in the offence seem to have the louder voices, and you know, you'd like to hear SA actually start to pick those voices up because at the moment, it's very quiet in the defensive end.
It is very quiet, and Western Australia more than happy to kick the ball around here. They're going to want to be careful here. They don't want to be called for get that stall warning in early, as everyone's getting a touch at the moment. Everybody just having a look as they move the ball around the top. Lazy pass there from Redmond, but nothing lost. Up the top to Moyer. Moyer's liking what he's got there. He's got a nice little matchup as he just kicks through to the goes inside. Back across the top to Coswara. Coswara rips it down the side again to the goal scorer in Brothers. Brothers is having a look as you watch Western Australia put 2 on the crease here. Yeah, certainly a very deliberate set.
They're certainly bringing that second guy in, and the SA defence isn't really picking that up when it's coming through. So
They look like they're quite happy to be beaten on the outside, aren't they? They're not going to give away those inside shots. They all seem to be.
no, but they're moving well off ball here at the moment. So moving well behind the defence's sight, and just getting into position. So you know, a drive like that draws someone, and if they've got someone behind, Cozzy with the ball here, just down the side again. Good secondary defence there from South Australia.
Very, very, very good as they look to kick the ball around Western Australia. Just maintaining possession here early. Redmond's going to want to be careful on the moving pick there as they kick the ball around the top, because Warra's got some space on this side and he likes what he sees. Unleashes, puts it wide. Good backup though from Western Australia. Jacob Mellor's just going to bring the ball back in.
But again, Cozzy getting the ability to free his arms then, and if you let any attacker free their arms and have a free rein, you know, goalies certainly. Oh, nice little pass over the back there.
Ethan Moyer slips the back door. Great feed from Jacob Mellor. And that is not what South Australia wanted early.
No, going out to a 3-0 lead here in the first, and WA having, I would say, 75% of the offensive ball at the moment. And to be honest, with SA when they are in their offence, hadn't really penetrated yet.
No, a couple of good saves from Bidwell Barton early. He certainly managed to snag a couple, but Western Australia just being patient on offence at the moment, which is really, really important. Just getting everybody a touch as we're back in the middle. Mathwin back in the middle again for South Australia. Pops the ball out the front again. Off we go.
Second win, but
he's got some more space this time, hasn't he?
Oh, Dylan Wood just not catching there, and Rowe with the shot, but great back up there. Great back up there.
South Australia get another look here. Still early in this game, still plenty of time, but South Australia are going to want to just get a nice little possession here.
Yeah, look good out of the centre there again from Mathwin. That's his second one against the same face-off player, so he might have his measure, and Levy might have a look at whether he swaps those two around to cut that out.
Well, Magnan's got to be careful here though, doesn't he? Because as Mathwin looks to come the corner, looks the backhand shot, rips that one wide as South Australia have got. Looks like they've got the back up. It's going to be close. Photo finish, but umpire Brendan Pinkerton says nope. I'm happy with that. Ball can stay with you guys. South Australia bringing the ball back in.
Mathwin had a few more steps there too, just quietly. He had plenty of space in front, but no secondary defender was coming to. This is Rigney.
Well, steps and there's a foul down.
And they'll hold, and great save again down low. But great move there from Rigney, drew the foul. So South Australia will find themselves in their first or second man-up situation. And let's see if they can remedy the first one by actually putting one on the cage.
Absolutely. There's another big save from Bidwell Barton. That's his third save of this first quarter. He's been fairly good in repelling the few opportunities that South Australia has had as the West Australian captain, Jack Heppingstone, takes a seat.
So with South Australia into their 3-3 again. This is where they've been playing. They're playing quite low and letting the defence just stack in here. The other day, this is where it shut down, and Connor Tate sort of missed a couple of passes there, which over-rotated, and just letting people get on them. There's little rotations there. Great defence there from the long sticker.
Cody Rosenthal perhaps spending that one before he got it on that bottom corner.
And Julian Knox just saying, I'll have that if you don't want it.
That's his first one. Let's see what he does now. Bidwell Barton with the ball for Western Australia.
Outlet pass. No one.
Oh, that was glorious, wasn't it? Touchdown, WA. As Daniel Bowater turns on the Jets, he's got some speed this one as he looks to draw a player, finds on the inside to Mellor. Mellor cops one on the arm. Great defence though from South Australia. Love a defender that throws wood.
Joel Tilbrook certainly letting him know he was there. Great, fantastic pick up there from Johnny, but great. This is the thing I love about lacrosse, is that offensive defensive pressure. That's where all your scores start from, and unfortunately it's come off the WA stick there, but there's 4-on-1 there.
How about Marinkovic though, taking it on, dropping the head. Yeah. Get out of my way, son.
Yeah, well he's big enough to run through that.
As we just see.
Hang on, we've got to
see what's going on here.
Dead off goal. Did you have it off anything?
No, I didn't, because I was watching the feet. So.
All right. Sorry, that way. That's right. Red. Yeah.
Fantastic to be able to get inside the heads of the referees in this one, isn't it?
Fantastic to get in the side of the head of a referee anytime. But
you love them, Tony.
I do love them. Without them we can't play, and they do a great job. But You know what? Again, South Australia, just those unforced errors. Just they need to tighten up on those unforced errors because simple pass coming out. Nathaniel Rowe just throwing that one up and not letting his teammate actually have the opportunity to pick it up, and WA will bring it into attack again.
Western Australia have been very measured with their offence so far as they look to get everybody a touch again as they kick the ball around the top to X. Nick Brothers over to Cosbora, 2 of the goal scorers thus far.
Look at Moore just sitting in there. I mean, Strudwick just hanging off him, but
He's got room, hasn't he?
He has got room there.
No one's putting any wood on him whatsoever. He's got space right there if they want him.
See, right there, they've got the secondary behind that they're just not looking at. South Australia ball watching a bit here. Look at that into the centre. That's a great cut through the middle there.
Mella kicks the ball around the back to X.
You know, they're finding space here.
Willsy.
WA.
Coswara looks to dump on the outside, tries to sell some candy, but South Australia was having none of that on Easter Sunday. So we've got enough chocolate in our basket this afternoon as Will Sinski turns the corner.
Great save there from Burgess.
There's a hit from Tilbrook across the side, but there's a flag on the players. We just wait to see what the call is.
All right, again, Tilbrook going to the box here for a...
Red, 2-0, legal body check, 1 minute.
Yeah, had the save there, Burgess, and had the ball near his stick, and unfortunately...
Big save from Burgess. Will Zinski's been the leading goal scorer for this competition so far. First year under 18 player. Had a terrific tournament, 9 goals heading into today's game, leading the table. But a great save from Burgess. They're really important, but the late hit has given Western Australia another opportunity as Australia go back into the 3-3 as Moyer looks to cut down. A little bit Wheel-esque this one.
Moyer just sitting on the bottom corner again. You know, there's a double this side, and another great save there from Burgess, but
Redmond looks to pick the ball up though. Burgess recovers to South Australia. He's going to want to have a look. They're going to want to be careful.
Give it to Fuss. Yeah, pitches up to Clothier. Clothier's certainly the big giraffe. He's got some motors and can handle the ball, and we've got a whistle here.
I think we have a timeout by South Australia.
Timeout by South Australia just to let them regroup.
Just the last 20 seconds of this game of this quarter, as South Australia are going to want to have to. The question is, well, I guess where's the penalty expired?
I think the penalty's still.
It might still be on. I think, yeah.
But I think there must be limited time to the penalty. So Mangan looking at maybe just getting a shot off before quarter time, using up that timeout and just resetting.
Well, it'll be interesting, isn't it? There's 2 ways to play it, isn't it? I mean, if the penalty's going to expire, maybe settle the ball down, hold on to it, start the next quarter with the ball. Yeah, important possessions obviously not been going South Australia's way early in this one, so possession will be critical. But like you say, though, if the penalty is going to expire, then Mangan might be looking to try and set it up to get a shot off.
Yeah. Bit like that no ball in cricket, give the free hit.
Get a free hit, have a crack.
Get a free hit, have a crack, and
we'll do the world of confidence for them as early in this one as Western Australia have been very good early on, just controlling the ball, aren't they?
They're controlling the ball, and SA when they get the ball have butchered it a couple of times in simple unforced turnovers, and that in a game of lacrosse will absolutely kill you. So yeah, we will see what SA bring out here, but there would. Obviously, limited time in the game. We've got SA. No, sorry, we're still SA still in the penalty box here.
So it's going to be interesting to see whether the time expires. We've got about 15 seconds to go in this one.
So maybe they will hold it, Eddie Kaiselik. May just hold it up.
We'll know here in the first 3 seconds what their intention is, won't they? We won't be left wondering. As Selleck looks to just bring the ball down.
WA looking at the doubling and shutting off. The shorty should have shut off down the back there on Lynn.
No real rush on this one.
No real rush here. I think it is, but really need to work for him here. He's getting double teamed, and if they lose this ball here, you'd consider that a win for WA. But a great hold, really good. Maybe there is a chance here.
Oh, puts the shot wide. He's going to want to work those. Bidwell Barton's given some fantastic chase, and he's giving it to Western Australia.
Abbott's given it to Western Australia there.
Bidwell Barton putting in the big legs.
Had some pace, didn't he?
Oh, he did. Look at him go. Hit that back corner, and that's a great turnover for Western Australia there. That's just wanting it a lot more, isn't it?
That's wanting it a lot more. That's chasing it down and needing what you need. And, you know, he took it in and over. He took it back in.
Oh, he's given it back. All that hard work wasted. But terrific pressure from South Australia, though, upfield, not letting him get anywhere.
Probably just trying to catch his breath there after that sprint to get that ball. But he's done well, and South Australia will come back into attack through the stick of Dylan Wood here.
Dylan Wood just bringing the ball down here, South Australia. So we must give you an apology. We thought there was a lot less time here than what there actually is. But we think clock might be on now.
So South Australia finished this quarter with a little bit of momentum, just to put a shot away and get one past the keeper, just to settle. So
Kai Selick trying to get some space on the bottom corner there. It's being really closely guarded. He's working.
Harry Giannis drew 2 there, and Rigney, and then Wood. That says a lot right there. Wood's pass, sent that pass, head straight down. He missed Rigney, and WA will bring the ball back in. And you wouldn't want to give one up here in the last little bit of this quarter.
No, absolutely critical that they try and just keep the margin at 3 here. As Bowater again, he's done a fantastic job clearing the ball for Western Australia yet again.
This is where South Australia. That's great. You know what? The other day we didn't see that. We didn't see that defensive, offensive pressure. But you know what? If they kick it quickly here, there's a chance of it putting a shot on here.
Coswara with the ball.
Just pulling out. So the clock's coming to the field, so not much time left. WA will be looking.
Here
at
we go,
shot.
30 seconds. Apologies to everybody at home. Remember, it is free lacrosse though, so no whinging. We are doing our best.
Yeah, you pay for what you get. And
but no, thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you share it. Let's get it. Share it around the Facebook page, and of course, if you want it on high def, feel free to tune into our YouTube page as Western Australia look to try and make it a 4th.
Shimmy or open. Oh, we've got a moving pick there.
South Australia dodging one there, getting out of jail as.
Which should see the quarter expire here.
And that's quarter time here at the Glenelg Lacrosse Club. Championship action here at the under-18s. And it's Western Australia taking a commanding 3-0 lead here at quarter time. Goal scorer Sam Coswara, Nick Brothers and Ethan Moyer. And for South Australia, it's an Easter egg here on Easter Sunday. We'll take a short break here at the Glenelg Lacrosse Club. Go get yourself a drink, top yourself up, grab some more chocolate, and we'll be back here with the second quarter shortly. You're watching the Australian Lacrosse Network. Welcome back to the Glenelg Lacrosse Club and under-18 action here. South Australia versus Western Australia. Quarter time, Western Australia leading by a score of 3-0. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are. Let us know, jump on our Facebook page. Let us know how we're going. We take all constructive criticism as well as we can. We'll shed a few tears later on, no doubt, but it is fantastic to have so many of you watching. Make sure you share the page. Let's get it out there on Facebook, particularly those back in Western Australia who are watching. Tony, interesting first quarter. Probably not what South Australia wanted.
Probably not what South Australia wanted. And Thomason in the face-off here, he said he's lost the last couple, but
that's a big face-off in there by Brooks, isn't it?
Dougie Brooks just winning that one, and I think that's the first time they've actually come up against each other.
Yeah, I mean, Hamish Mathens was certainly the pick of the X-Men in the first quarter there. A couple of really nice fast breaks. But not Western Australian wingmen covering it fairly well, but South Australia have got to look to try and capitalise. They haven't looked like doing anything 6-on-6, so they've got to really up their transition play.
Yeah, look, they have the opportunity now. You know what? 3-0 first quarter. They get first use of the ball here. And if they can, as I said, it's a momentum game. If they can actually get something going here and just start to get those wheels in motion. And Wood has been the man on this right-hand side who's just been pinging them low to high. So if they can free his hands, a bit like WA have freed theirs, Rigney with the ball there, just coming inside. There's 3 other defenders coming there. Great double.
Oh, fantastic
that is a great
strip
double.
from Epping Stone. As they
and
kick
a great pickup. So WA going again here for the fast man break.
Over across the top to side. Fantastic finish. That is absolutely clinical.
100% started with the long sticker in the defence then, and that little double, which came out and just took the ball out of Rigney's stick. Great pick up over the centre line there, and a pretty textbook fast man break.
Well, that's Will Zinski down there with the finish, taking it off of Jacob Meller. Just terrific ball movement from Western Australia. Like you say, though, the ability to turn defence into offence there was really, really impressive for Western Australia. And just as we were saying how important it was that South Australia get their transition game and get that transition game going, Western Australia go the other way as we're back in the middle with umpire Steve Green. We'll take you inside his next face-off, get a bit of sounds.
And Thomason again.
Picks the ball at the top there. Great little pick. Brooks back in the middle again for South Australia. You reckon they're just trying to rest Mathwin a little bit and trying to monitor his load?
Yeah, Hamish has obviously got a great inside roll there, but good double. Yeah, I think Mathwin's done a fair bit of work over, and that's a great cut. Just misses the cage to the left there. But WA have the backup, and a great little cut there from Nick Brothers down the middle. But they're certainly making the South Australian defence work. And yeah, Hamish Mathwin obviously, can't be everywhere. There he is, as we see him in defence, just getting beaten. Oh, great backside look.
What a finish.
Great backside look from that feeder.
Jaden Rodriguez with a tremendous finish there, had ample time and space to be able to finish that one as he slots one home for Western Australia. And Western Australia are now out to a 5-0 lead, and things are starting to go from bad to worse for South Australia.
Yeah, look, the whole South Australian defence then just slid to the left, and that was that was a perfect feed from behind there, and saw Rodriguez coming down and just literally popped it offside high on Burgess, and Burgess had no opportunity there.
So back in the middle now. Western Australia popped the ball out the back there. It's a fantastic face-off by Jackson Bowron. Western Australia fighting hard, and they've come up with the ball yet again.
And it could be a fasty if he gets this on here, but great. You know what? And that's.
Oh no, we got
a flag here.
Let's see what it is. It looks like it's a slash. It's just waiting. We got a slash on the far side there for South Australia.
So Mitch Lewis just wearing that penalty for the slash from behind.
1 minute for giving him the business, Tony.
1 minute
giving him the business. Just
letting him know he was there. And but the one good thing about that, all of a sudden we saw some aggression there from South Australia, where there was 3 or 4 coming to that ball while they drew the flag. You know what? I'm happier to see some aggression coming out of their offence on that break.
Well, if they're going to turn it around, that's what they need to do here. I mean, they obviously need to make a stand here and not let this game get out of hand as the ball's
Moyer
back.
just sneaking in the centre here.
He's got all day.
Oh, great save by Burgess. Just kept the levels with his stick with his offensive opponent. But this is the one, the man down. So we've broken here.
Oh, that's a nasty bounce.
Nasty bounce there, and Moyer just sneaking up. We could have an offside here on South Australia. Referees haven't picked it up yet, but there's definitely offside here from South Australia, so they're going to get another 30-second penalty. And inside, backhand shot there. But the SA will go to the box again for another 30 seconds.
Just waiting for a call there. Just waiting for the call from old Alan, the Hamburglar Frost. Just calling in the offside call as Western Australia are going to get another crack here. The Sandgropers looking to try and push this out to a 6-0 lead. 5 different goal scorers today. Been really slick with their ball movement. But as you're saying, Tony, if they're going to turn it around, South Australia, they need to get physical. But you can't really get physical when you're playing in a 5-man zone.
No, look, and WA had 3 opportunities then to score. A great save from Burgess, sort of that one on coming sort of same line. But you know what? They're opening up here. And
Burgess got a piece of that, but Tyler Redmond with the finish.
If you're going to play man down lacrosse, you're going to get scored on more than not. And they've now will become even. That 30 seconds will be waved off. But great little finish there, and all of a sudden it's double the first quarter lead here. It's 6-0 to WA, and we've had a timeout called there by South Australia, I believe.
I think they need to talk about things. They need to try and find a way to get back on top. Tony, you've been involved with this side for the last couple of years, down 6-0 early in the second quarter. If you're Mark Mangan, what are you saying to the boys?
I'm asking for someone to take responsibilities out there. I'm looking for someone to stand up and go, you know what, I need to take ownership of what I have. I don't think they're taking ownership at the moment. I think they're looking to their teammates to actually, who's going to do it. And I think someone needs to stand up here, and it starts with the captains. But number one, just need to get a score on the board here. We need to have some offensive possession where we can actually, while we have the ball, we have the ability to score. And if we don't have it, we're 6-0 down. So I'm looking at some possession, some ownership from our senior players, and just that physicalness, that making people understand that this is effectively a grand final for South Australia. If they don't get past here, they don't play Victoria. And the last 2 years, South Australia have made this, so they've got a lot of weight on their shoulders.
Well, that's right. I mean, they've come into this tournament, obviously a fair bit of changeover, but as you say, they claimed the tournament back in Perth 2 years ago, and obviously lost to Western Australia in the final, and then last year managed to make the final, but were taken down by Victoria. So there has to be some real appetite here from this Reds group. There's a lot of young guys in the team, obviously. I mean, they've had a very good program with the Stingrays and the Phantoms the last couple of years, so there's certainly some studs here. As interestingly enough, Mathwin back in the middle. If I were a betting man, Tony, I think he's going to go out front here. He's going to win this one.
I'm thinking he's going faster here, although
he's
just got a little bit of stick on it. But and there we go.
They're going to need to. Mathwin's got to manage his load, but he's been their best offensive player and he's been their best face-off man today. I would be running him non-stop.
He has, he has to come off absolutely spent.
Absolutely.
And be able to recover tonight. But Mathwin has been the one who has stood out in this team. Both in the face-off and with scoring.
Yeah, offensively he's been very good, hasn't he? Been managing to hit the back of the net routinely and regularly enough for South Australia. He's been their big threat. And I'm sure Gav Levy would have been watching the tapes from the A-Lens coverage. Excellent coverage, Tony. Excellent coverage. Absolutely fantastic coverage, might I say. And Dylan Wood but there's no one presenting. Maravich there, he's stepping off the ball. He's not stepping into a hole to create pressure for the next defender. As you can see, Western Australia just locking off on Mathwin, not giving him any room to move whatsoever. That's Shane Thomason not trying not to give him the outlet as Mathwin stepped on the inside, but no one's looking. Got to give that. And unfortunately... too little too late. Too little too late. Put it, couldn't... and there's a turnover here. There might be a loose ball push, I believe. Yeah, they're giving the ball. Oh, no, we've got a push. Yep, loose ball push for South Australia. We'll retain the ball. Shane Abbott all over that. The Gazelle, Shane Abbott. As they kick the ball around to top again, South Australia going to be needing to try and find something here. Probably stating the obvious, but 6-0 down. And that's probably a good matchup, Mathwin right there, because this is where he's been scoring. He's been coming in, turning around and shooting that. The bottom corners open up again here. Dylan Wood with the ball at the top, kicks it back to Marinkovic. Marinkovic just having a look. South Australia need to recognise these opportunities a little bit quicker. They're just a little slow in their mindset, and they need to be able to recognise when guys are open. That was a great little cut by Mathwin and should have been fed the ball a lot earlier and probably should have been shooting from about 2 metres in front of the cage. Yeah, look, and credit where credit's due. Western Australia certainly aren't giving them a lot of time and space, particularly their long poles. They're more than happy to go out as we've got a flag down in the bottom corner here. Bidwell Barton all over that. Ball goes just wide right as we're going to get another look at the South Australian defence.
Hold! 30!
It's a 30-second penalty. 30-second penalty here, so we'll get to see South Australia's man-up team again. Again, the last 2 times they've run this, they did get a shot off in the last one. Dan Bowater just taking time, making sure he gets himself refueled with a compulsory drinks break as South Australia with possession, trying to... And this is one of the things Coach Manga does. He actually likes to open up one side and work the ball on one side and then kick it back for the easy, one-on-one. And here it is now. It opens up there, but it's just not opening up. He's got to get above that 45. Lachlan Spickett there, getting his body in the way as Donald Wild looks to pick up the ball. Body's flying everywhere. Good. Fantastic. This is what we like to see in a championship game. That's some really desperate stuff. We've got a whistle here.
Put it down. Where is it? Where is it?
As you
Step
hear,
behind the restrainer, right?
Referee Green there, just letting everyone know exactly what's going on. But loose ball push there, so it turns to WA. And WA... They're out there. Bowater's come out of the penalty box there, and he's had no one on him, obviously. Oh, great little knockdown there by Fuss. Bowater with the ball, picking the ball up. The Instrumental Blue just taking the ball back around the top. And it's those little things at the moment where, WA are losing the ball, but South Australia are creating a turnover, but the WA just are hungrier at the moment, and they want the ball back more than the SA team. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is the Under-18s Championship game between Western Australia and South Australia. Western Australia leading by the score of 6-0, and it's a good defence from South Australia, and they're going to force the turnover. No tip on that one, so South Australia will work it out here, and let's see how they get this clear.
Rigney just opening up on the other side, so he's got some pace, but again, he lets his defender catch up with him there, so he could have put his motors on.
Make sure you
Burgess with a long ball to just space and really making it difficult.
I don't know if it's a good thing, but it seems to have been their most effective clear so far, is Burgess just unleashing that down there, and they've been lucky that so far, but that luck looks like it's run out, as Western Australia are now going to get the ball through.
If you make it to a 50-50 contest, you're going to get a 50-50 result.
Yeah, Jaden Rodriguez kicks it up to Moyer, but yeah, you're right. It's a jump ball, isn't it?
It's a jump ball, and while you have it in your stick, you may as well put it in one of your teammates' sticks and at least keep possession. So, I don't know that is the right option.
I'd like to see him. There's obviously no shot clock. There's no rush to clear it. So I'd like to see him perhaps hold the ball just a little bit longer and let things unfold. But that comes back to your midfielders working hard to get free, doesn't it?
It does. And at the moment, maybe that workload isn't being carried by all of the midfield.
It's Western Australia just kicking the ball around. It's back at the top with Moy. He likes his match up here. South Australia have been running select to Moy for a lot of the day as they move the ball around very quickly there. The backdoor cut was open up to Rodriguez.
Oh, there's a flag for a late hit here. So we're going to go to the penalty box again.
That's Tilbrook, is it?
That is Tilbrook again.
So we just wait for it.
That's his second.
Illegal body check, minute.
Second for the game. Just got rid of the ball there and got bowled over. So, not what South Australia need, especially now playing in another man up, and WA have been quite precise in scoring on these man up opportunities.
Yeah, they've been quite good with their ball movement, haven't they? And something Victoria no doubt will be paying attention to. Western Australia's movement's been slick, but they're probably not the most physical side. So I think there's some room to push. But and if South Australia's going to get back,
he comes on the bottom corner. Fuss hasn't picked him up yet.
And Moyer
on the bottom corner
day.
there, he didn't grab that one. Mitchell Fuss just ball watching there, and he's let his opponent try to find one, and Moyer come around the back and should have probably scored on that one. But Burgess.
We got a timeout by Western Australia. They're just going to want to have a chat about it. They've got time on the clock still on the penalty, as it is 6-0 Western Australia so far here in the second quarter. And I mean, look, we're probably again stating the obvious, Tony, but South Australia have had a little bit more of the ball this quarter, which has been good to see, but it's just a matter of what they're doing with it, isn't it?
Yeah, they're relying heavily, though, on one or two players down there, and the other guys aren't being aggressive to the cage, which doesn't open
Instead
up.
of getting that off-ball movement, they're just not moving off the ball at the moment. Like you say, they're looking at the Mathwins and all that to try and create plays, but then there isn't that. Western Australia, it's a Gav Levy trait. West Australian defences are very, very good at jumping early.
Yeah, they are. And you saw that with that turnover.
Yes, absolutely.
Which encountered that.
They're really big on turning the attacking guy as soon as he goes to break down a side, turning him around, being met by the second guy, and not giving him the opportunity to find that guy. But that said, if you're an offense trying to break that down, then you've got to be moving off the ball and finding the open space. And Western Australia are doing a very, very good job of that at the offensive end. It's those third, fourth, fifth, sixth South Australian offensive players that just aren't finding space. They're just adjustments.
Yeah.
But if they find the space, that's their way to goal.
They're what I call staying in the shadows at the moment. They're letting their man, their opponent, get between them and where they need to be. And if they can get out of the shadows, you see some light sometimes. So.
That's very prophetic of you,
Well,
Tony.
it is Easter. The Gospels from Tony Watts.
Which we hear are on rhythm down there at Sturt this year.
Yes, they are.
As Western Australia just look to kick the ball around then. Again, still man up. Gav Levy 1 for 1 on the old timeout goal as Western Australia kick it over the top to Brothers. Brothers to Coswara. Brothers having a look. Puts the ball down to X, down to Mella. Mella taking it out to X as Moyer moves behind. He's got the through ball to Coswara. If Coswara can corral it, but he's going to have time. He's going to have time.
And the man penalty's on, so he's got a man behind him.
We have an offside. But they've called the play on. No, it's a play
advantage
on.
No,
there.
it weren't. It was pushed.
Great
advantage.
That's a Blue Division referee for you right there. As
And
Western
there we
Australia.
Just finding the holes quite easily there, and Cozzy just cutting through there like Moses with the Red Sea.
It just
and,
parted for him beautifully, didn't it?
And while SA were a bit worried about what was going on up here, defensively wise, they all looked to stop.
Well, for those of you back home wondering what just happened on that face-off, so of course there was a defender and attackman over here in the South Australian half. The West Australian stepped over, but umpire Green has adjudicated that he was pushed over because the ball was loose. Rather than blowing a whistle, He's called play on, let it unfold. And because Western Australia got the ball anyway, there was just no point stopping the play. So
Yeah,
he just
correct.
let it go on, let it play. And
Great referee.
a great play
Great
on
referee.
call because, I mean,
Great
Western
referee.
Australia got a goal out of it. So
Yeah.
exactly the way you want that played.
But that's a great refereeing call because it didn't impact with the play.
No.
They had advantage and they let them go. But South Australia seemed to stop a little bit. Again, South Australia winning the face-off there for an early snap. So you take it any way you can. But again, Hamish Mathman looking like he's being locked off here. Well, let's see whether he can do that double again where he just kicks back in. I don't think he's going to get beaten twice.
Western Australia quite keen to push out. As I say, they've been quite comfortable going out far, and that's going to create opportunities. But if South Australia are going to find them, they need to move the ball as Selick looks to take on some players. The
Look at
double's
that
gone
double.
early again.
And there we go again. But they're straight back in position.
And that's where exactly right. That's exactly right. So they were straight back into position there, and perhaps the attacking, I think that was Nathaniel Rowe, needed to find the space and move just a little bit. But Western Australia, far too easy as Rigby turns on the Jets, comes the corner, looks to try and rip. Oh, puts one just off the pipe.
I'm going to say that's probably one of the best opportunities South Australia's seen with that shot. That wasn't far off.
I would be curious to see what Snicko has to say, because I reckon that has absolutely caressed the pipe as it's rolled over.
You could have easily been confused for seeing that dribble down the back of the net then.
Well, that's probably been their best one-on-one effort, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Really great way to take that on. As Western Australia looking to clear the ball here fairly comfortably as we just wait to... Offside by Western Australia.
Didn't pick that one.
But in Frosty we trust.
Yeah, I'm looking back here in the defensive end, and
They look like
they must have come offside from the forward end because the defensive end certainly
Well, he
had
must have
enough.
stepped over because, of course, the offside rule nowadays.
Oh, Mathwan.
Oh,
great
terrific save from Bidwell Barton.
And Rigney. Oh, good pace. We're going to get. No, he's
Where's
let
the
that
ball?
play.
No, that's good play on. Let him play.
Rigney again.
It's a contact sport.
Oh, just unfortunately turning over the ball there. We've got stop for clocks here.
We've just got to play it down, just fixing some equipment. That's all right, no injuries there. As Western Australia are going to bring the ball back in through Bayswater's Donald Wild.
I think he went that quick there. His shoe fell off.
I think he might have.
That shows pace.
Well, they haven't. Well, certainly. Is that why I never lost a shoe throughout my career, Tony?
That's why I wear thongs. Here we go. So this is where South Australia really need to capitalise. Great, that's the pressure that's required from South Australia on these rides, and we haven't seen that at the start of the week.
Jackson Barron kicking the ball across the top there, but they're continuing to swarm, absolutely feverish on the ride.
And that's what they should be doing. And that, we've got a flag
on the
called
far
here.
side. Let's see what umpire Steve.
1-0. You 1-0. Red 1-0. Push 30.
He's obviously adjudicated that he's gone into his back there. I can see that.
But I can honestly say that is the intensity from the forwards in a clear that you need to see, especially at these levels.
Absolutely.
If you're letting someone come out and not putting any pressure on them, and you'll take a 30-second tech penalty for that.
Very, very unlucky to have. I mean, look, I think the foul was there. I think he certainly has made contact with the rear, and there was a clear disadvantage there. But that said, like you say, great push from South Australia. But they need to repel this. Brothers across. Miller steps.
That's just open up again far too. A great save from Burgess, putting his body in the way.
There's a great leg save from Burgess.
But it's the clear that does it. And again, we've gone long to a one-on-one contest.
Selleck's got a bit of space there. Great bit of stick from Heppingstone. Ball still loose.
Nearly a great pickup by Clothier there.
Ball's going to spill back over.
So South Australia have 4-on-2 here. And you'd expect South Australia to win. There's 5-on-2 now.
I would not like to be watching offside on this one.
I would not like to be watching offside either. But
as Moyer with the ball, Moyer's strong, picks up the ball.
WA, and that was a great little hold there by Moyer because the WA guy was offside and he held the ball taking pressure this side while his defensive man came on. And again, look at that. Shot happened there again.
Oh, Redmond perhaps would want that one back. Get a left hand, son.
But again, you look at that. I mean, it was at one point there in the middle here, 6-on-2 South Australia WA. And WA end up walking the ball out with it. You know, it shouldn't happen. Oh, great one-hander.
Oh, one-hander. That might have been highlight reel stuff.
If he had number 4, and I would have thought Lyle Thompson was playing out there right then, because that would have been a highlight and a half.
Oh, that would have been the goal of the tournament if he'd pulled that one off as the ball rips around the top. Pummeling outside shot from Sinski. That's his second goal of the quarter. And Western Australia are out to an 8-0 lead.
Yeah, that's just pressure right there, and getting the ball in your stick and having possession and putting that pressure on your defence. And South Australia, you know what, they need to find something here. They need to get a little bit of pride because they're getting walked over by the WA offence, and the SA defence need to really stand up here.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, they're getting killed on man to man. The man down, they've been getting scored on frequently.
And ground balls in the centre.
Yeah.
You know, it's but Mathwin again here.
Balls,
oh, there we go.
That's another one. Like I say, they're going to have to keep pumping Mathwin through the middle there. He's been killing the face-off for South Australia, doing a great job. As we go down and we get a look at the South Australian offence, I mean, it's probably stating the obvious, but they certainly need to find a way to tickle the twine here on this possession.
Well, I don't think Woods had a shot yet. And there's a shot, John. There we go. South Australia are on the board. And as simple lacrosse is, Jonathan Marinkovic just sitting on the back corner. WA defence was watching the players come on, and all of a sudden it didn't come to him that time, which is unusual for the WA defence. But South Australia on the board at 8-1, and they'll be pleased to have a goal in the back of the net.
Oh, you don't want an Easter egg on Easter Sunday, that's for sure. So they're off of that now, which is fantastic. Whereas, just a quick score update on the women's game for those of you who are just tuning in. Victoria, South Australia on the other side, and we're told South Australia are leading that game by a score of 3-1 early in the first quarter over on ground 2. But of course, we're over here covering the men's game, as I think we have a break by Western
and again,
Australia.
WA broken again there, and it's the second time that he's been in there, Brooks. And Mathwin again. Sorry.
3 in a row for South Australia as they try
I was about to say, Mathwin has to be in every centre here. They have to be.
As they try a hidden ball trick, and they just about pulled it off.
Just about pulled it off.
I can't believe that. I saw it unfold at the top, and I thought there was no way Western Australia falling for that, but he had him hook, line, and sinker.
Bidwell Barton just looking up at Marinkovic here, and you know what? A little bit of momentum. Selleck just trying to roll inside, and
Bidwell Barton with a foot there.
And WA with the back up there. So WA will bring the ball out, but again, nearly worked. Just Hamish Mathwin didn't quite get this ball coming out of the back of his stick on that left hand.
Oh, well, he had Bidwell Barton sold.
He was so fixated on up on Marinkovic that
nearly a one-handed goal and a hidden ball trick at the other end.
So
it's all happening down here.
So I say now that Hamish Mathwin doesn't come off the field for the rest of the game.
No, he's going to have to be run into the ground today,
I
think.
He's got to be the marathon runner, and great defence there.
This is what you want to see. Bidwell Barton just taking his time over to Heppingstone.
Needs to move that quickly here.
And
does. But
Mello with the
right
ball.
Right place, right time.
Oh, Mello with the finish.
You know, sometimes the bounce of the ball just goes your way, and that came off a stick here and should have almost been turned over by South Australia, but it's bobbled up. And
well, that's that jump ball we were saying. That's what happens when it
ball
goes the other way, doesn't it?
It does. And as easily as South Australia scored down here, and they looked like they had that little bit of momentum as the half-time.
Oh, and that just on the half-time buzzer as well. Just to rub salt into the wound.
That's a coach killer.
Oh.
I'm going to say that's a coach killer right there. Especially when you're 8-1 down, and I'm sure that the coaches would have known how much time was left, and that one just bobbles up, and that one gives you grey hair.
Well, it's half-time here at Barrett Reserve in today's championship qualifier between South Australia and Western Australia. For those across the Nullarbor, you'd be very, very, very happy as Western Australia, 6 goals in that second quarter. Wilczynski with 2, Sam Coswara with 1, as well as singles to Jaden Rodriguez, Tyler Redmond, and Jacob Meller. For South Australia, only the one single goalkeeper, Jonathan Marinkovic. As half-time, go and top yourself up, grab yourself a drink. We're going to grab a quick break here. We've got a 10-minute half-time interval, and it's Western Australia leading South Australia by a score of 9-1. You're watching the Australian Lacrosse Network.
So what we have to do
So welcome back here to the third quarter of the ALN.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just stuffing my face with one of the fantastic hot dogs we've got down here at Glenelg.
And why wouldn't you?
Oh, mate, you got to. I mean, Malvin's been trying to talk a little bit lately. As I was saying before, we might get a bit of a stay tuned to the ALN. Milax Kitchen Rules. Let's see who makes the best hot dog in Australian lacrosse.
Yeah,
but we're back here for second half action.
Staple here, and we've got Brooks in the face-off. I'm surprised they didn't start with Mathwin then, and Fasty maybe here. There's...
giving him a little bit of business behind the play there.
You know what? That's what defenders are supposed to do.
Yeah, throw some wood. You're down 9-1. Let's have a red hot crack here. As
Cozzy picks himself up off the ground there.
Lucas Coswara taking a while there, and I do wish him an apology. I kept calling him his brother Sam.
Oh, just...
Oh, fantastic finish there from Jacob Meller as he steps the corner. Western Australia start the third quarter right where they left off, and they race out to a 10-1 lead.
Great little take there. He was on his knees when he took that, and managed to get up and take the defence on. Got above them again, and that's where South Australia have been lacking. You know, they're letting the offensive players sort of beat them up high, and when they open their arms, there's no stick presence or body presence in front of them. So.
No, he's come that corner far too easily, hasn't he?
He has. Mathwin here.
Back in the middle. Oh, he's tried to pinch a pop, but he's forgotten the ball. Great face-off from Thomason.
Oh, we've got...
just something...
Red put his foot on the goal stick. It's the goal ball.
And a great thing there for Greenie. We're hearing exactly what he's thinking.
Exactly right. Absolutely. In no doubt. Just a new little feature we've been trialling, and hopefully we'll have this all tickety-boo and sweet for you tomorrow as we hear from one of the referees throughout the game. Hope you're enjoying it back home. Please give us feedback. Let us know how you're going. Of course, share the game as Ethan Moy looks to step on the inside, probably bites off a little bit more than he could chew.
Jack Cloth here, just... but again, South Australia putting a little bit of pressure here, and if Hamish Mathwin actually pick this ball up as he hits the deck, and he might... we've got a loose ball push here, I think, and the ball will go red. So Hamish Mathwin doing his work there, and got the ball back in, and he's taken the ball here in his stick. So as Mathwin kicks it over to Brooks, and we get to see some offense from South Australia right here. What are they going to bring in this second half?
South Australia just looking to kick the ball around. Big shout out to everybody at home. Thanks for tuning in. Great to have you all watching. Great to see so many people involved. Shout out to Sammy Coswara and Lincoln Potter, who you guys are watching it out there up at Genesee.
Boys, we hope it's not too cold over there for you.
Absolutely.
Great to hear from you.
Absolutely, and I see Kirsty Graham tuning in as well. Fantastic to see over at St. Francis, plying your trade over there. Hope things are going well and you're surviving your US winters. As Western Australia back with the ball, Bidwell Barton going to want to get it out of his stick pretty quickly. Finds Heppingstone as Heppingstone looks to get into some space.
Wood chasing down here.
Good pressure from
Wood. He's got to go. No.
Heppingstone's got a bit of...
So they almost created another fast man break there by the attacker not chasing that defender out. No talk from behind to let him know he should be going.
Yeah, need a little bit more pressure there, but Western Australia more than happy to just take some time off the clock here, get all the substitutions out of the way as Brothers with the ball, moves across the top to Bowater. If you're just tuning in, it's been all Western Australia here in this game. Western Australia leading by a score of 10-1. No, our button isn't broken. That is the score here early in the third quarter. As Brothers with the ball, we're in a bit of love. Off Rowe just letting him know he's there as the ball kicks around the top to Bowater. Bowater quite zippy.
That's better. Keep goal side of your opponent and not let him come back or go under. So not overcommitting there, as we talk about overcommitting. But a great double.
Zinski, a real potential budding superstar, Will Zinski.
Yeah, look,
from the Wanneroo Glenelg Lacrosse Club. As over the crop to Mellor. Mellor with the ball, pushing the ball back to Zinski.
Oh, Moore just sitting over the back here again.
He wanted it, didn't he? Redmond on the other side, and the ball is a terrible bounce there. Burgess got a huge chunk of that, and the ball's just bobbled up. And Redmond has claimed his second goal of the game.
Yeah, the problem is there they had Moyer and Redmond, one on either side. He literally raffled and...
It's an absolute bevy of choices available to him, Tony.
Yeah, look, Moyer turned his head just as the ball was about to be thrown, and he could have, if he turned back, had it.
Well, he clearly wasn't feeling the Moyer today. He was feeling a little bit more Redmond.
He had a little bit of Redmond.
Didn't he? Absolutely.
And he, you know what? To his credit for his assist, he's picked the right man.
He did, and Western Australia jump out to an 11-1 lead. We'll just try and keep getting you some updates on the other championship fixture today on the far ground.
Great pick up from Mathwin, just flicked out quite advantageously to Harry Giannis there, but if you fight hard enough for it, sometimes things go your way. So SA with the ball. Now this is a man, Rigney, who has the ball at the moment, who, you know what, I said in the call the other day, has a great set of motors. He's had a couple of really good shots, but he really needs to find himself with a shorty here and maybe just try and invert, get through, you know, get some movement where we can invert down there and have him taking on a longie, because Mathwin, again, that's his number one all week.
Oh, Bidwell Barton says, thank you very much for the chocolates. I'll take those. That's his 7th save of the game. He's having an absolute cracker.
He's having a blinder.
Oh, isn't he?
And as we get a late hit there from Mathwin, who's probably just a little frustrated that he didn't put that goal in. We've got a flag on the play here for a late hit.
Just on the back corner there.
So the ball's coming down. Really need to move it towards the cage here with the flag. Coach Levy is saying go to the cage, and rightfully so. The referees have blown it up, and as he stepped away from the cage.
Well, no need to get greedy. They're up by 10.
No, 11 is always a good even number.
What are you talking about,
Well,
Tony?
1 and 1 equals 2. So
that's whenever your strong point.
Mathematics. You know, I'm always, you know what? When the foot's on the throat, I'm always for one more. Is there any breath left in that? No. Just push it out. So.
As we're back on another West Australian man-up offence.
Yeah, just stick side high there from Cozzy. He's obviously still feeling the effects of that hit over here before and got his ambitions and
Well, at
capabilities
least that's how he'll
mixed up.
explain that.
There's an offside here on red. I think it's been called advantage here.
Not sure what Lim's doing.
We've got an injury here to Lim.
Yeah, Arlen Lim's just coming off the field there as they Western Australia look to kick the ball down. Brothers throw some candy. Oh, rips one off the inside of the pope. Ring-a-ding-ding. Finishes with another fantastic goal.
Great little fake to bring the defender to him, just a step to the right, as they say in the Rocky Horror Show, and just pops it at the top of
Look out,
James
ladies
Burgess.
and gentlemen, Tony Watts is bringing his
Just a
A-game
step
today.
to the right.
Tony Watts bringing his A-game to the commentary box this afternoon.
You know what? If only I could shoot
I don't even know what'd you do to the Tony I know. Very eloquent of you today.
Very eloquent. Yes.
As it's 12-1 to Western Australia's Shane Abbott puts them down again.
Brooks.
Fighting for the ball. It's a real fight this time. Ball's bounce.
Brooks fighting there. We've got a holding, and the ball will go red. So with holding. Oh, sorry, a clamping on the stick of the South Australian. So he's called him for a hold, and Brooks at least showing some intent there with some pace through the. And here's Giannis. Giannis hasn't been able to send his pace through the team today on the field, and I think it's about time that they actually start to, bring some pressure to the WA defence, because at the moment, here we go, Mathwin again, but they're relying on Mathwin. Look, the WA guys are just setting up because they know Mathwin's going to get the ball, and they're setting that double and triple really early. Mathwin, again, just likes this right corner. And if you look at his game tape or his pitch map, this is where you'd see majority of the balls pitching.
So just look to kick the ball around here, South Australia, trying to find a way through this West Australian defence. It's proven to be quite the riddle for them today.
Yeah, that's what they need to do more of. They need to, the defender, they know the secondary.
One of your boys, isn't he? One of your boys this year, Harry Giannis?
Harry Giannis, yeah, look, fantastic. He played in the 18s last year, first-year player. As we see Nathaniel Rowe, who was in
he
that
stepped on the inside, he's got space.
Oh, great check, just waited for him to drop the stick. And WA are out here if they keep going.
Bowater's got the lead, he's got some speed there as Rosenthal looks to try and cut that one down. It's a 4-on-4. Bowater kicks the ball across the top to Moyer.
But we've got Luca Cozzi coming through the middle here. He's just been picked up now.
Oh, great step.
That's too easy on Strubwick, and a great save there. I think that one hit Jimmy.
Yeah, great save by Burgess there.
But again, this is where they break down. You know what, they're sending someone to him, and they're throwing a ball that's putting under pressure. It's that secondary now. You know, what does Strudwick do? You know, he's had to launch it wide, and there's a turnover, and he's going to walk into an open goal here. That's just not a good enough return. That is not a good enough return, and great riding to the WA, but that is not a good enough return from the SA defence in the way that they're actually clearing. It doesn't look like they have a structure to clear, and they're getting shown up right at this point in time.
Well, they are. Look, it's much of the same. It's much of the muchness. It's the same guys doing the damage as Moyer collects his second goal. He's become the sixth multiple goal scorer for Western Australia. as Western Australia are now skipped out to a 13-1 lead here. Safe to say that they've booked their spot in tomorrow's final, I would have thought.
Yeah, I would say now. But this is where I say they have to keep fighting. You know, Mathwin, he's doing his job in here. He just needs someone else to stand up with him.
There we go. He kicks
And
the ball
again,
across the top.
you know,
Probably gave that one a little bit too early. Should have drawn the guy across the top, but coulda, shoulda, woulda. And Western Australia are going to get out of jail again.
But
That's,
again,
I think, the
a
third.
basic skill error.
Yeah, third fast break I think he's managed to corral.
You know, and this is, look, he's running one-on-one. There's no one else in front of him. Like, who's putting the pressure on from South Australian defence
Tyler
here?
Redmond just killing the ball out of there as Coswara kicks the ball through the middle.
And they've done exactly what South Australia have done. But look, the intent to get the ball back right there and actually stop that from going out.
Mella straight on his feet as Western Australia set up their ride.
So Mitchell Fuss with the ball running out here. But he's being double teamed. He's being double teamed on the ride, you know? So, and there's a third man coming to him. So he's actually had to take some pressure coming out of his defence. South Australia aren't offering that at the
If they're
moment.
quick, they've got an advantage here. Western Australia a little bit slow to recover, but they only had a very small window. That said, again, they should just need to get some possession here as we have a...
So we've got a
We've got an offside. I think it's an
yeah, Gold offside here. I think it was in the substitution actually that Gold went offside. But South Australia now have an opportunity.
See what they can do. They've had a few man-ups on it today. Haven't been able to do any damage so far. 0 for about 5 on man-ups. South Australia look to kick the ball across the top. Marinkovic with the ball. Lone goal scorer for South Australia today.
Tate with the ball. We've got a
Stop the clocks, my time. Behind you, Shane. It's gone. All right.
Just a ball on the field.
I thought it was a streaker for a
Goal
second.
in the
It
ball,
looked like it, didn't it?
number 8.
But no, it was a ball, definitely a ball.
South Australia look to just set up their offence. They've only got a small window here. It's only a 30-second penalty as Marinkovic across the top.
South Australia are really low in their defence here, in their offence. They just sent 2 players to the backside there, and there's no one filling spaces. So, you know, pinging from outside.
Great
There we go.
finish.
Nathaniel Rowe there, just going, you know what, if no one's going to do it, I'm going to try and bounce one off the surface here. And he got a great bounce, and Nathaniel Rowe puts one away for South Australia.
Yeah, really take advantage of the deck here. It's quite a bouncy deck, isn't it? The ground's looking in absolutely
It's a
fantastic,
treat.
Nick.
There's a bit of Adelaide Oval-ish about some of these parts of this ground, but when around those goal circles, if you hit the right spot,
You can jump on you.
you get a little bit of whacker.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of South
Well,
Australia.
Bidwell
and
Barton,
WA.
perhaps he was a bit flat-footed on that attempt. Certainly wasn't up and at him on his toes, but a little bit of life out of South Australia. Their second goal of the game as they cut the margin to
11.
11.
That's that even score, 1-1. and a fast man break here from Rowe, and he's put that one across. Sorry, Brooks, that was.
Douglas Brooks with the ball puts that one just wide left. South Australia are going to bring the ball back in here. A little bit of pep in a step, bit of life in here from the Reds.
All these guys with these 80s hairstyles like I had back in the day that just hang out from the bottom.
It's a very, 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 very strong flow game out here.
I'm just jealous because I've got a solar panel at the top of my head now, which keeps me charged. And here we go, Maravik. Oh, that could have been a cross check there.
That is a
cross check, I would say.
Here we go as we just wait for the call to come in.
Goal. 6. Cross check. 1 minute.
Shane Thomason perhaps just getting a little bit high there with the cross check as he takes a compulsory drinks break for 1 minute, and South Australia are going to get another look here. Ball's been down here for a little while now. Going to want to start to see some return on that investment as South Australia go back into their man upset. You got a 1 minute penalty. Kicks the ball across top to Rosenthal.
Just not moving the ball quick enough at the moment.
Selleck to Rigney. Rigney back across. It goes back to Rowe, the last goal scorer, Wood. Back
Opens
across
up
top
this side, but just not stepping into that.
You got room if he wants. Oh, Bidwell
great
Barton.
save again down low.
Read that out of his stick. That's his 8th save of the day. Bidwell Barton with the long clear. No one really home.
Oh, great by Clothier, but he can't. Now he can go. Great work there from Rowe to get him up and over.
Really great recognition.
South Australia need to win that ball. Great work by Dylan Wood, but
Was loose. Hold on, Red. Goal ball out there.
2-on-1. So we've got a 2-on-1 there for South Australia and Western Australia, and WA will walk away with the get ball again after a silly hold. Anyway,
She's going to start back in the defensive half as Western Australia look to clear. Not a single South Australian up at the line trying to pressure there. There's Nick Brothers brings the ball into attack, and we have a timeout on the play for Western Australia. As Western Australia lead this championship game by the score of 13-2. Again, another big shout out again, just while we've got a quick break. A huge shout out to Kennard's Hire. We've obviously been able to improve our camera angle today. You'll notice that we're certainly having a look at it from a different angle, and that's in part to the great team down there at Kennard's Hire in Glenmore. Big thank you to Vince and the team for loaning us the scaffold for today's day. And a really terrific effort from those guys, really great. And so feel free, if you're down near the Glenmore area or anywhere down here around Glenelg, come and see the team, Vince and the team down at Kennard's Hire. Get the right equipment for every job, from DIY to major projects. That's the team down at Kennard's Hire, Glendore. Thank you very, very much for your fantastic support of Australian lacrosse. We really, really appreciate it. Little conference there in the middle from Gav Levy and Mark Mangan. Just wondering what's going on there. Yeah. Certainly wouldn't know what two good mates would be interesting to see what they were talking about.
Yeah, I think, look, Gav obviously will be, I believe Gav will be talking about the structures that are required down here. He's called that up coming into their offence, and he's obviously wanting to see something, and he may start to look at running some processes for the next game ahead. Mark Mangan would just be looking for, you know, some head up stuff now, you know.
Well, at what point, if you're Western Australia, at what point do you put the cue in the rack? Are you starting to think about that? Obviously a massive game potentially. I mean, obviously we're not going to call it too early. There's still time in this one, but looking 99% likely that it's going to be a West Australia-Victoria final tomorrow. At what point, if you're Gavin Levy, are you starting to put some of your better players in cotton wool?
Yeah, look, you're probably at the end of this quarter, given 5 or 6 minutes into the next, that you'd start to look at that and maybe get, you know, your team is only as good as your 19th player or 20th player or whatever your squad is. So if you can get those guys running in some processes, and you never know, in a big game someone has an injury, that they might have to step and fill a hole. So I would think, but I would think Gav would be looking at probably early in that last
end of this quarter, maybe.
Yeah.
Ethan Moyer with the back just throws a nice little spin move, steps the corner, pops it wide. Burgess with the great save. Mel recovers for Western Australia. Back to Redmond.
Great
Burgess.
Save. That is a great save.
Two saves in the space of 10 seconds by Burgess, doing his best to keep South Australia in the game. That's his 6th and 7th saves, respectively.
You know, and there's a break here if he can see up, and Burgess needs to give this ball now. He needs to give that ball now.
He's got someone. He's found him as he finds.
But just got lucky. But you know what? Hit the outlet.
Thomas Strudwick kicks the
South
ball
Australia
up.
have to score. Rigney's on the bottom. Rigney's opened up in the middle there.
Terrific feed. Great finish from Hamish Mathwin.
Mathwin again. Rigney was open wide in the centre there, but that only drew the defender to him. And Dylan Wood was quite calm in his feed there, and saw that Rigney was going to get shut down. Saw Hamish Mathwin up the top, and Hamish, I'm going to say, he shot like that, like he meant it.
If you're looking for a score update on ground 2, it is a thriller over there as Victoria have come back in the women's game and they lead South Australia by a score of 6-5. We'll continue to try and give you updates of that game. Of course, we're over here covering the men's game. Real luck of the draw over here. We can only cover the games on ground 1, and today just happened to be the men's final, so certainly not a decision on our part insofar as what games we were going to cover. If just for those of you at home who were wondering, of course, you can tune into the Australian Lacrosse Network tomorrow for live streaming of both finals as Daniel Bowater clears the ball for Western Australia. Got some speed up there. Doug Brooks giving a little bit after the play there, but all good. Play on.
Just again, the South Australians defenders are letting WA get inside goal side of them. And what a great ground ball here from the WA young man. He had plenty of pressure there and 3 or 4 South Australian guys, and still managed to come away with it. So fantastic there from Bowater.
Western Australia just looking to kick the ball around a bit. Back with Mellor. Harry Buckman with the cut into attack for Australia. Wilsinski and Buckman on the crease as the ball's with brothers. Buckman's got some space through the middle, but well shut down by the South Australian defence here as Coswara looks to come the corner. That's Lucas Coswara, goes into spin cycle. Good double from South Australia. Good defences. They move the ball back across the top.
Yeah, turnover here. Dylan Wood with the right ball, and this could. He needs to pick it up. Yeah.
Wanted to play around with it, but it's nothing lost there as Douglas Brooks picks it up.
Great pick up. He's got one open in the middle here, Nathaniel Rowe has to give that, and there we go. South Australia, another one on the board, and a little bit of a roll here. So I'm going to say, though, that started from James Burgess's 2 saves down there. You know?
Absolutely, absolutely.
The goalkeeper's under immense pressure. I know he got scored just after that. But, you know, he's putting his heart on the line in the cage down here at the moment. And everyone has to lift from that. You know, he's the one under the pressure being scored against. South Australia, you know, Dylan Wood missed the ball there, but a great pick up by Dougie Brooks coming in the
they've cut the score this quarter to 4-3. That's their 3rd goal of the quarter. That's Nathaniel Rowe's 2nd. He's got 2 this quarter, and Hamish Matherin's got 1. Of course, really stemmed the flow here, South Australia. Cut the margin down to back to 13-4, back to under double digits as Shane Thomason picks up ball up.
Oh, and that's the one. That's where the pressure needs to be. You know, and that's lucky not to be a flag, to be honest, that one, with the one-handed swipe. But referees just letting it go as they should.
I didn't see any limbs come off.
No, that's why I started playing lacrosse, because, you know, some people have to pay for this sort of stuff. But for me, I found it in a game.
As Western Australia back into attack. Lucas Coswara with the ball. Again, I apologise to Lucas. I was referring to him by his big brother Sam, who is of course a long way away at the moment over in Genesee. So Lucas Coswara, formal apology.
But
doing a great job. He's had a fantastic tournament for WA, and he's going to have to be very, very, very big for them tomorrow against Victoria.
I wonder if Lukey's lighting up and hitting Link over there a lot. Oh, Jimmy again. Another great save
from Burgess. Was wondering if that was going to get enough on it to be able to roll. Burgess has had a great 3rd quarter. That's his 4th save.
This is where they have to give the ball early. Oh, he's got to catch those balls.
Strudwick loses
But again,
possession.
you know what? A good ground ball here or a turnover possession with plenty of... Oh, that's a great from Rigney. And that he should walk in here. And he'll probably get a penalty there too.
And there's
for
a
late
flag.
one. There we go. Took one from behind.
And
Double
there's
flag.
a 2nd flag.
And I think the keeper or the longie might go there.
As we wait and see what the call is and see what's coming through. Wait and see if we can get any inclination.
Go and report it in. Stopped. All right.
What number was...
Goal was 24.
24, okay.
Yeah.
So it's all clear, goal 24.
Yeah.
Gold 4-2, illegal body check 1. Gold 4-2, unsportsmanlike 1.
All right, there you go. So we've got
So that's
2 penalties going through. That's Lachlan Spickett. Sounds like he's got 2 one-minute penalties there coming after the goal.
So South Australia will start with momentum at the moment, and they will start with the ball again.
Yeah,
from the centre.
Rigney's scored South Australia's 5th, and they're about to go man up for 2 minutes here.
And those little individual efforts like that, where Rigney's
that was just hustle, wasn't it?
just hustled and he's picked it off, and that's what's been lacking from the South Australian side. But that was fantastic. Rigney's picked that off. He's come around the bottom corner, put the ball away, and then taken 2 penalties. He's actually worked for his team, and now South Australia have an opportunity. A couple of goals here.
4-2, unsportsmanlike, 2 minutes. 3 minutes.
Oh, 3 minutes
Ball
total.
starts there.
So we've got 3 minutes of penalties there. Coach Gavin Levy is not going to be happy with that at all, and Western Australia are about to go severely under the pump here for 3 minutes.
So if South Australia can score a goal a minute in their man up here, we'll bring the score back to 13-8.
As the clock comes on here, interestingly, do you go for it or not? You're down by 8.
Look, if the clock's on here, if an opportunity opens, you put it away. If not, hold the ball. You've got 2 minutes 30 to score the next 3 goals at the start of the 4th quarter, and just drag a little bit of momentum back to you. So they just look like they're just holding the ball. Looks like the coaches have told them to hold the ball here, and they'll kick into the 4th quarter with starting the ball in about 2.5 minute man.
Well, there we go. It's 3/4 time down here at Barrett Reserve, and signs of life from the South Australia, as South Australia score the last 4 unanswered goals of that quarter to cut the margin to 8, as they will start the final quarter man up for at least another 2.5 minutes. Goal scorers that quarter: Mello, Redmond, Brothers and Moyer for Western Australia, and for South Australia, Nathan Rowe with 2, Hamish Matherin with 1, and Eric Rigney with 1. We're going to take a short break here at Barrett Reserve. You're watching the Australian Lacrosse Network.
All right. So, start of the fourth quarter, South Australia into attack here, and they've got about a 2.5 minute man up opportunity here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We need another. It looks like we need another player for South Australia here. I'm only counting 5 out there at the moment. As they send another player, and must be the coach in me that saw that, but everyone's looking around because they're waiting to run their man up, and it's not happening because they're not there. So let's see if South Australia can put one on the board here early.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Tony. They're in no rush. They have plenty of time here to make it count.
Yeah, although as a coach, I'm wanting 3 here, and Rigney again just shot the ball before he actually caught it then. Oh, and
Western Australia are out. That's a lucky bounce.
That's a fortunate bounce.
Julian Knox has got some open space here for Western Australia. If he
and
can
you
draw
don't
the top
want a
lap.
longie scoring here.
Coswara across the back. Stop.
Off the post.
Puts it off the pipe. He'd want that one back again, Finn Morgan. Been quiet today, Finn Morgan.
And Zach Clothier just putting the ball out. Again, Rigney has the legs here, and he carries the ball really well. But they just need to reset this man up now and at least capitalise once on this man up opportunity.
If you are looking for a update on the women's ground, we're told Victoria are now leading 8-5 against South Australia over on ground 2. Victoria are leading 8-5.
See, that's a shot from Wood. There we go.
Wood with another one, and they're going to want to get back here fairly soon. Do you burn a timeout here to keep the clock on or not?
Look, I think Mangan at the moment would be happy that one just went in. They've again Wood. I reckon that's his first shot today.
It's his first goal.
So I'm saying I don't think I've actually seen him drop his hands and have a shot. So I'm saying he's 1 for 1, and if he can shoot at that percentage and he shoot another 5, it might put SA back in this game.
Well, it's 13-6, still a little bit of time. Obviously, a whole quarter of lacrosse to go. So much for putting the cue in the back from Western Australia. Western Australia are now going to want to try and finish this game on the right footing.
So South Australia would still with the man up here. They've got a wing open, and while we have a longie, I would have stuck a shorty on the other wing here, and just.
Well, interestingly, Western Australia left. I believe they've left the offensive wing. No, they were right. No,
they left
the defensive wing open. Yeah, my bad. As they kick it over to Rigney. Rigney with the ball. South Australia get exactly what they wanted.
But again, you start with a shorty on that other wing, and if you go into man-down defence, you can sub that up while you know the time's coming down. The fact that they had a longie on the other, now they've had to substitute. They've just about run out this second opportunity at the man down. They really have to move. But Rigney coming around the back, he needs to catch those.
Lucky bounce.
I think he heard.
Western Australia, interestingly, have made a goalkeeping change, bringing in Travis Wolfe. I didn't think Bidwell Barton was that bad to warrant the goalkeeping change.
I would have thought that he was almost best on ground for WA at the moment.
And the penalty is clear, so we're back all even here.
But again, that might be Coach Levy again. That get to that 3 or 4 minute mark or the start of the fourth quarter and just go. You know what? I'm going to put this away again. Good, solid defense.
Interestingly enough, though, could have been a strategic move as well. Travis Wolfe a lot more mobile. Yeah. So if you're playing man down for 2.5 minutes, you might want a bit of mobility from your keeper. Yeah, 100%. So it could have been a strategic move there. But
again, if Bidwell Barton's going to play in the cage tomorrow, they may just go, look, you know what? Let's shut him down and save him for the big match.
Yeah, both two very good goalkeepers for Western Australia, so it'll be an interesting choice tomorrow.
They're both uniquely different.
Absolutely.
So they offer a great mix of two styles. So, but obviously Coach Levy looking at giving some game time here, and WA just sort of not really attacking at the moment. They're just taking some time out of this game a little.
Yeah, Brothers certainly happy to keep the ball on the outside again, here as he steps on the inside.
Just over committed, and again another great save. The ball. There we go. Marikovic's got to run this out. But look at that, 3-on-1, and it might come off for South.
Fantastic save from Morgan. Morgan keeping the ball in play. Unlucky, but he's kept. Brothers has got Sinski open on the inside.
Yeah.
Potts on the outside.
Back of the cage.
Yeah. So Burgess with 9 saves. Now he's having a great second half.
This is where he's looking, and he's looking at that. That's the defense needs to move for him. We've got a flag down here, so they want to catch this ball. No, ball's hit the deck.
30-second play, hold. Western Australia going to get down. South Australia going to be back into man up now. Plenty of time, plenty of opportunities. Only got the 1 goal out of the.
Yeah, another opportunity here for South Australia in the man up. Rigney coming off the back there, he's dropped the last 2 balls that have been thrown to him, so I think he'd be keen to grab hold of this one now and put it away. He's a much better player than that.
Wood kicking the ball around the back to Rigney. Rigney back up to Mathwin.
Interesting that Dylan Wood starting on the top right there. I would have thought his shooting zone is where
you'd imagine he'd
Nathaniel Rowe
move
is.
in,
He'd
yeah.
have to move to this point because
Yeah,
that's his shooting. Mathwin there off the
bar.
bar.
Use the deck to
Great
perfection.
back up there from Rigney.
As they kick the ball around, Wood with
There's
possession.
bottom corners here, just a little touch off the top of the stick there. And South Australia will gain the ball back again. Oh,
Ball's just
WA thinking that was their ball and they've sent a shorty up to the line. He's got to get back in there.
We're all even here now in the final term. If you're just tuning in, championship action, South Australia, Western Australia. All South Australia, or Western Australia early, but South Australia have scored the last 5 to cut the margin as South Australia back deep in offense as they kick the ball around. Got Woods and Selleck out there at the moment. Got the through ball over to Rowe.
Mathwin just coming up on this bottom corner here on the shorty again. There's another one coming around Cody Rosenthal coming around the bottom corner. Obviously he's, and goes high.
Yeah, puts one high, Wolf. Seemingly having that one covered for Western Australia. South Australia are going to get the ball back, looking to ring the changes here at the moment. It looks like Rowe's coming from the field. Something must be wrong. They're bringing on Arlen Lim.
Arlen Lim.
As South Australia had a nice long possession here. Haven't done the damage that they need to be doing at this particular point in time. They need to be hitting the scoreboard quickly.
But at least they're showing some structure here and showing some want to hold the ball.
Rosenthal.
And there's Wood just shooting the ball before he actually had it. But again, he was in that position. That's his shooting spot. We've got a 4 on 2. 4 on 2 to WASA there, and SA will, with the 2 men, will come up with a holding call, loose ball holding call. So moving the ball quickly to Rosenthal. Oh, in the back there, I can't quite see. I think that might have been Mathwin again.
Travis Wolf having a real late crack at it for Western Australia to see if he could perhaps get the ball. There are some concerns creeping in here late for Western Australia. Haven't been good for probably the last 20 minutes.
Arnold Lim liking what he sees in the shorty, just coming in, but great double there by the West Australian defence.
So kick the ball back around the top, the ball with Rosenthal over to Wood. Wood likes what he sees there, taking on Donald Wild.
Little swim move, and that's his distance, he thinks. And
long way out for that shot. Long way out. But South Australia need to be throwing everything at this one if they're going to try and get back into this game.
I don't even think I ever passed the ball from that far out, let alone shoot it. But yeah, no, Dylan Wood, you know what? Ambitions and capabilities, and he thought his ambitions and capabilities were that distance, and why not? You know what, young man, give it a crack.
Down by 7, nothing to lose here as Rigney with the ball. He's got a bit of space here, like his opportunities here.
See, he carries well through. If they could, that's the one.
That's
now
the
they need to
switch,
give it back to
kick
him.
it back to
They
him.
need to get it back to him to the short stick. No,
they've
they've gone the wrong way, and they may have an opportunity to change.
Wood's gone to X here, trying to find himself a little bit of room.
Rigney has to get loose here. Oh, and another unforced error where they've just dropped the ball and stepped out of bounds.
Western Australia are going to be able to recover. Need a good long possession, Western Australia. Been a while since they've been actively involved in this one. Their offense has been really, really, really weak this second half.
But watching the clear, I mean, you're looking here, we've got a spare man who's not really chasing hard and looks a bit tired.
Bowater's been terrific, though, in their defence. There hasn't been many players on the field quicker than he has been. He's been able to clear the ball with relative ease for him all day. As Zinski on the corner. Strong play, holding onto the ball. Great little one-on-one matchup as he steps on the inside, draws the defender. Western Australia moving the ball along. The ball's going to spill out the back there as Burgess picks it up. There's a flag down.
Stop the clocks, please! I had 13 red.
Just waiting to see what the call's going to be here as it comes in, as umpires Abbott and Green figure it out.
Simultaneous technical fouls, washed away, the ball stays red.
Okay, so we had a simultaneous.
Obviously 2 separate fouls that they've each seen, had a chat, figured it out.
Well,
simultaneous.
I saw the checking the goalie one there, but obviously there was another one.
There was something else that I think's happened just off to the side there as well.
I think there might have been a push out the other side there on Angus Cook when the guy got past him. So just simultaneous.
South Australia going to look to see what they can do. They've
Good.
struggled all
And
day.
that's good
but
running. They need to run this out.
All
They need
good.
to keep going. You've got to meet her, keep going.
Good bit of stick there.
And
Oh, no, they're okay. Plenty there. Plenty there.
oh, got to move the ball on.
As they move the ball down to
Great
exit.
little pick up there from Rowe.
Rowe with the ball, kicks the ball up
Mathlan
a
in
little
that
bit.
shooting position. Oh, just nailing the WA defender there.
Travis Wolf with the ball, holding onto it for Western Australia. He's going to want to get it out pretty quickly there as he finds Heppingstone on the far side. Heppingstone's
Look at
got
the man
some
in the
players
middle
on
here,
the
though. There's
inside.
an overlap here.
He kicks
so
it over.
keep going.
Bowater gets on his
Bowater's gotta
bike.
go.
If he gets on
He's
his
gotta
bike, he's gone.
Got to go now. And there's
It's a fast break opportunity here as he turns on the Jets. If he draws the player, he doesn't. He goes to shot. Oh, Burgess has
And
got
that
a
is
piece of that.
Again, fantastic finish. And just turned the Jets on and went away.
Western Australia.
He's had a really good game.
Wouldn't say they needed that. Bowater's been really impressive. He's had a
Really
fantastic game. I mean, it's his first time he's really troubled the score sheet.
But his running has been his
Oh,
key.
it's been
It's been the
sensational.
key to his game
He's made
today.
clearing the ball look so super easy for Western Australia. And I mean, as you know, that's a huge part of the game. If you can clear the ball, Western Australia have cleared the ball a lot easier than South Australia has today. And the difference there has been Bowater.
Yeah.
He's getting out in the open, turning the Jets on. He's been getting ahead quite comfortably as we just try and figure out what's going on here. Just a slight delay in play.
I think we've got a coach's penalty here. We've got an unsportsmanlike maybe. There's definitely something going on there. And Coach Mangan and Fuss are going, what have we said, what have we said? But there's a man sitting in the box here for 1 minute for South Australia. So
Well, mind you though, there would have been, otherwise they would, if there was a foul, if it was a foul, then Western Australia would have started with the ball. So I'd be very curious to find out what's going on there. But Brooks wins possession for South Australia. He's got a little bit of space open in front of him here as he kicks it into another South Australian offensive set. On the far side of the field, Selleck with the ball. He's got a bit of space here, being chased by two would-be West Australian defenders as they move the ball around.
Can they score on a man down opportunity here? Because there's
Well,
definitely.
they're clearly running short-handed at the moment.
Yeah, still not sure about that penalty. As you say, Timmy, you're
No,
right. It
I'm
would have, if there was a penalty there, they would have started with the ball from the centre. But
Exactly right. Mangan's still having a crack over there at the CBO as him and Frosty are the Hamburglar are trying to figure it all out.
just trying to calm them down. Oh, great one-handed take there by Brooks, and he's got in front of his man, but there's a double behind there, obviously, with the man down situation.
Yeah, they've got plenty of time. Western Australia not necessarily pushing as hard as they were earlier in the game as they kick the ball around. South Australia, sort of, you're down if you do, down if you don't. They're down a player, but they're also down a lot. They're up a player. Down a player, but they are down a lot of goals as well. There's a little bit of a
Brooks
kiss.
holding there. He's drawn a foul, and he's put one away.
And there's another
two
couple. Here
fouls.
comes a couple of penalties.
Okay, that's a great individual effort there by Doug Brooks, who actually just managed to pick the ball up here one-handed to a real high throw, and he's run the cage, taken on three players, walked in, drawn two fouls, and scores for his team. So
we've got a slash and a hold, which is
Goal was 1-0, 27, yeah? Has one for the hold, and then a slash for 1 minute slash. Yep. What for the hold technical? That's washed
That should
away
be
by the goal. It's just a 1 minute penalty. It's 1 minute.
There you go. So there were two penalties on the play. Again, for those of you at home who are watching, there was a slash and a hold. But of course, because there was a goal scored,
that technical
the
penalty
technical
disappears.
penalty was cancelled. So there should just be now a 1 minute penalty on the play.
And South Australia are...
And of course, the penalty occurred before the goal. So we're of course going to go back to a face-off for those of you who are wondering at home. Again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. Fantastic. It's free lacrosse. Wherever you are in Australia.
It's the best word in the world, isn't it? Free sometimes?
Lacrosse, oh, fantastic. You know, Easter Sunday, we thought we'd give you a little bit of something. Of course, make sure you're tuning in tomorrow. Huge day of lacrosse on action, starting with the women's final. It's looking increasingly likely that Victoria might fill the second spot and take on Western Australia. And of course, Western Australia should be able to hold this lead fairly comfortably. They will take on Victoria in the men's final. Thomason's going to want to move.
Lucky. Yeah, you don't want to stop your feet moving in this game.
No,
It doesn't matter whatever level.
Absolutely not.
And we've got a timeout.
Timeout in Western
Coach leaving.
Australia. Another opportunity to give a shout out to our good friends at Kennards Hire. We've mentioned them a few times through the broadcast, but the fact is we couldn't do what we want to do. So again, another big shout out to Vince and his team down at Kennards Hire in Glenmore for providing us with the scaffolding to enable us to get the terrific shots.
Fantastic bunch of guys down there.
No, they're fantastic. Gave them a call, said we needed a scaff. Wasn't too much of a problem at all for the guys. So feel free. So if you need anything whatsoever, feel free to give Vince and the team down at Kennards Hire Glenmore a call for all their expert advice and quality equipment hire. Also a big shout out to the crew that I've got running with me here today. Marty Baker frying up there up the top. Of course, doing a fantastic job. Doing a great job as well with Lacrosse SA TV. Make sure you get behind that for all your South Australian coverage. Tony, thank you very much for joining me today. I appreciate having you down here. And of course,
wouldn't have been anywhere else, I don't think.
Nah.
This is glorious.
It's fantastic, beautiful weather. Of course, our producer, Scotty Gill. Big shout out to Scotty. He's been able to get down here and produce the last couple of days worth of games. Of course, we didn't expect to be doing that, but being the opportunists we are here at the Australian Lacrosse Network, we've been able to bring you these games when we didn't really plan on doing it. So a big thank you. And of course, thank you very much to Linton Arscott and Charlotte Winnan for their assistance yesterday. Even though you didn't get to hear Lippy's scintillating commentary, we hear it was nothing short of spectacular.
From the mouth of Lippy.
From the mouth of Lippy. Lippy was reviewing his own performance, so take that with a grain of salt. But no, thank you very much, guys. And thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you stay close as we bring you the end of this game as Western Australia with the ball. Man up. South Australia getting after him.
I think if he keeps whacking him on the arm there, he might draw a flag here.
We might see a little bit of litter on the ground shortly.
But there we go.
Great.
And you know what? Never give up. Never give up. Now all they need to do is get the ground ball back. Great ground ball there from Moyer. Just flicks it out to himself.
Western Australia playing around with it at the moment, playing a little bit of field hockey.
Here we go.
It's the ball. That's Finn Morgan with the ball, and there's a little bit of
plastic, another little bit of plastic. And I think he's sort of
going to give him a 1 minute for giving him a concussion.
Angus Cook's
Devin,
already
just pick
going.
it up and stand still, please.
Angus Cook leading
the ball's there with 7.
One of the more elite penalty getters in the league this year.
He's already sitting in the box. He knows that maybe that wasn't correct.
No, not a lot to argue with that one. A fantastic call. The refs all over it. Of course, a big congratulations as well. Fantastic officiating crew we've got out here today. Of course, Steve Green heading off to Israel to do Blue Division, as well as Brendan Pinkerton and Shane Abbott, who'll be heading over to do Red Division. Joined as well by the Hamburglar, Alan Frost, over in CBO. So we've got 4 of the Netanya crew out here today. So big congratulations to those guys as we kick the ball around. Brothers has got all day, rips one from low to high and just caresses the inside of the pipe there. That's his hat trick, Nick Brothers.
I'm going to say, sitting right behind that was like a hot knife going through butter for your hot cross bun right there.
I'm not going to lie.
That is just scintillatingly.
That's what I wanted to see on Easter Sunday.
That has just absolutely split the difference.
We're a little bit excited here. We were right behind the track of that one.
I was excited when I was talking about hot cross buns. Those pre-season's ready.
It's the old pre-season diet in full force. So we're back in the middle here.
And another little flick out there, just needs to pick up the ground ball here.
Tyler Redmond with the ball goes down.
Okay, red ball.
Red ball from the no possession. Gold stepped on the line. Red with the balls, they kick the ball around the top.
As Steve Green's whistle reverberates in our ears as he comes past. And you can see why he's in the Blue Division.
Oh, fantastic.
That was great whistle work there.
Oh, the whistle work is just simply sublime.
I got excited.
Of course,
little one round the...
Our colleagues in Victoria speak very, very highly of Steve and the work that he does back in Victoria. Very, very good selection in Blue Division, joining Dave Campbell and John O'Kiplocks in the Blue Division later this year. So
yeah, great.
Let's not forget our referees and the fantastic job they do.
They've done, great officiating crew. Had the pleasure, obviously, at both state and national level with those guys, and they always give you a fair look at the game. So
they're just the best, aren't they?
They're the best.
As Western Australia looks just to clear out here as the ball rolls into the attacking half. Great strong take there from Lucas Coswara.
Oh, look at the jets on him. He's opened that up by his own jet.
Oh, Finn Morgan spilt that one.
Got the ball before he had it.
I tell you who's not going to be happy with that. His mum Bronte over there in the managerial box. Bronte is not going to be happy. She wanted a shout out today, so a big shout out to you, Bronte. doing a fantastic job over there as manager of Western Australia, albeit I know you'll be giving Finn a bit of a crack after the game on that one.
Although,
Tyler,
good or bad publicity, it's still publicity.
Exactly right. Tyler
So
Redmond
here
gets
he
a
goes,
bit of
another
space.
opportunity. Yeah, and there it is. Manages to just get that back with an assist, and we've got a flag here.
This is after the goal, I think, by the looks of things. It was a... Just wait for the call. Unsportsmanlike, 1 minute.
Unsportsmanlike.
And the ball looks like it's going to start. So Western Australia are going to get another crack here.
And there we go. So, no. We've got a. It is a Western Australian penalty there. So Western Australian penalty against Koswara.
Koswara with the unsportsmanlike.
So we will, as South Australia make a goal change here. Jaden Taylor coming into the cage for the last half a dozen minutes.
Yeah, look, James Burgess has let 16 in today, but that is certainly not a reflection of the job that he's did. He was instrumental in that second half. Made a lot of good saves. He leaves the game today with 9 saves. On the far side, ground 2, just a score update for the women's game. It's Victoria leading late in on ground 2 against South Australia, leading by a score of 10-7.
Oh, another one that bounces up and off the bar.
Someone call the pipe police. We have a crime in progress as a fantastic shot off the deck. Hits a ground gremlin
and he has another. He saw the first one.
Step right up, step right up, step right up. 3 for $1.
3 for $1 here.
And Western Australia aren't going to cover that. He's going to say thank you very much.
Every player's a winner here. And have we got a third? Oh, here we go.
Rigby's got all daisy steps.
Oh, hang on. Someone's going to have to go out and put some fix on those pipes because those last 3 shots.
Someone get the pipe ambos on the phone.
They're going to have to polish them up tonight. There's dents in them.
They are sorer than me after a 15-minute run.
I'm glad you put the one in front of that.
I was trying to talk myself up, don't.
Because I'm starting to think take the 5 out of it. I'm sore after a 1 minute run. But I like the fact that we run opening up here. Good by Rigney, and that could turn over here.
They're wanting to play around with it a bit, aren't they? Spicker trying to recover the ball for Western Australia.
That's a great little spot the other side there. He stepped offside.
And it's off red. We'll see if he gets it.
So have we
goal ball here.
Goal ball. I'm going to say, Will Sinski there, just sitting in the middle, saw that opening up and played the team game where he's actually stepped across and saved them from going offside twice then. So
very switched on play.
Those little 1%ers that just make up a game. Clothier here trying to get under Koswara's skin, literally.
Like the look of a tall defender like Clothier. Throws good stick, doesn't he?
Yeah, but they've just fallen off like that, and there's two guys sitting on the crease here. 2 guys sitting on the crease. Oh, hello.
Finn Morgan through the 5-hole.
That was the one that he missed before after his assist. He says, I'll have an assist before I have a goal. And unfortunately, Jaden Taylor, I mean, not much you can do as a goaler coming in cold.
Coming in cold late in the game.
Late in the game when the game's effectively over, and it's a tough one.
Sounds like we have a goal on the far side. Looks like South Australia have cut the margin back on the far side. So we might be getting nice and close on the far side. 10-8, I'm being told, over on ground 2. So Tony's just pointing out to me that in his pre-game prediction, he predicted a score of 17-7 to Western Australia, and to my dismay, the score is 17-7.
So everyone just hold it up now.
He's been pointing to it all day, like the crazy lady on the water boy.
Quality X2L. Oh, hello. Could prove me wrong.
I am praying now for a goal. Otherwise, we're not going to hear the end of it over.
Everyone's praying for a goal now. As we get a flag here on the play for a hold, I believe. So we'll have a sit for a hold. South Australia have an opportunity to ruin my pre-match prediction.
Of course, jump online. Let us know how we're going. Feel free, give us as much feedback as we can. Obviously, we're fine-tuning ahead of a huge day tomorrow.
Big day lacrosse tomorrow.
Absolutely, starting with the women's final. Make sure you're tuning in wherever you are in the world. It's Australian lacrosse. It's online, and it's free. Of course, starting at 11 o'clock local time tomorrow. That's 9:30 for those of you across the Nullarbor, 11:30 in Victoria, and we're likely to see a Victoria-Western Australia final in the women's.
Oh, there's a long throw here down to it.
Jacob Mellor with the ball.
Just needs to hold him up here. Again, he's let him get goal side, And now it opens up. Now it opens up. Oh, okay.
And that's another great finish there by Western Australia. That's Will Sinski down at the end there.
So now my predictions are as good as my footy tips this round.
Fantastic. Not going to lie, breathing a sigh of relief over here.
Yes, it's just the defender just didn't hold him up and keep goal side of him. Let him get goal side of him, and once you get that, someone has to come, someone has to slide, and it was just a little too easy there.
Look, and that's it's knowing your strengths as well. Tilbrook's certainly not the quickest defender out there, but he throws great wood. I mean, that's a huge part of his game, is that he's very, very...
And he's got a big body.
Very impressed with his ability to hit with the wood that he's throwing. Yep. Got himself caught out against a quicker attackman.
Step back, go away. The clock stopped.
Hopefully Steve's not talking to us there.
No, he'll be telling us that later, I'm sure. No
doubt. The long shot must have been only a couple of seconds left. And they've ruined my prediction within 30 seconds to go.
You were 30 seconds away, Tony, from absolutely nailing that. But that's the championship. That's today's game in the books. And it is South Australia who have run off 18-7 victors.
No, try the other way.
Western Australia. Yeah, Western Australia running off 18-7 victors. For those of you just joining us, it was a dominant performance by Western Australia, particularly early on in this one. 3-zip first quarter really gave him the edge, but then it was a 6-1 second quarter that put them comfortably ahead, 9-1. The game did look like it was going to get away as Western Australia continued to pepper the cage early in the third quarter, but to South Australia's credit, they fought hard in the second half and certainly didn't give up, and eventually have put some respectability back in today's scoreboard, with Western Australia prevailing by a score of 18-7. Goal scorers for Western Australia, Will Sinski, again leading the way, the tournament's leading goal scorer with 4 goals. Nick Brothers was quite impressive as well. He finished with 3 goals. Lucas Koswara, not to be known as Sam, Lucas Koswara, finished with a couple of goals, as did Jacob Meller, Tyler Redmond and Ethan Moyer. And then there were singles to Daniel Bowater and Finn Morgan and Jaden Rodriguez. For South Australia, 2 goals to Nathaniel Rowe and singles to Marinkovic, Brooks, Wood, Rigney and Mathwin. This one's in the books. Tony, which players stood out for you today for Western Australia?
Look, definitely Bowater, number 17, had a great game. In the cage, Bill Button, when he got taken off, he was probably best on ground at that stage.
Yeah, he was fantastic, particularly in that first half, wasn't it? Just kept that goose egg sitting there for him.
Koswara, Redmond, Thompson in the middle early was flicking the ball out really well for Western Australia and giving possession early. So,
yep.
If you can capitalise on those momentums early, he did a great job. But overall, a great team game, a great defensive team game from WA. And, pre-game we said it, WA were up and about. The voice was there. It was they were happy. They were here to play, and SA were a little quiet, and probably reflects.
You could spell that right at the warm-up, didn't you? You could just see that Western Australia were ready to go, whereas South Australia certainly didn't seem to have that push that they should have been chasing.
No, as a coach, the one thing I actually spoke to Gav Levy just before the game, and I said, mate, your players are up and about. You hear them, and as a coach, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for something that says we're here to play, and Gav, to his credit, said that he did a bit of a drill that we coaches must do, is you blindfold people and you get them talking so they talk over people, and that's obviously worked a treat. And but look, SA, to their credit, they fought hard, and I thought in the cage there really did hold up some.
Oh, look, James Burgess was fantastic for South Australia today. He did a very, very good job. I think his first half, he might have wanted a few of those outside shots back in particular, but to his credit, as goalkeepers do with that internal battle that they have, he adjusted and made a stack of saves, which was fantastic. So,
yeah, look, and Mathwin in the centre, to be honest, was really good. So, all in all, it was a good game, and we will. Just head our way over.
Yeah, we're just heading over now just to try and get the presentation side of things sorted out.
I don't know I can run that fast, to be honest, but we'll get the coach's impressions of who was best on with Gav Levy.
Yeah, we'll see if we can talk to a few people. I'm sure I'll get the thumbs up. I'm sure they're still looking at us, saying that was still good. So, but of course,
hopefully they've got our best, with the camera behind us, they've got our best angle.
Yeah, Burgess was obviously really good for them today as we
really
just get into
today. And just as the presentations start, we'll get the coaches to... So we're just popped over here with the coaches as they make their presentations to the boys. So Mango.
Do I have to hold this?
Nah, you don't have to hold it. Just keep talking, I'll hold it for you.
When I don't hear it. Hey, WA, thank you very much. You obviously gave us a bit of a touch-up today, and that's to your credit. You came out ready, raring to go, and I wish you all the best for your game tomorrow. And your MVP today is Julian Knox.
Well played today, South Australia. The scoreline didn't show it, but it was a tough game for, I think, all 4 quarters. You really had a crack. Probably a couple of your shots, if they'd fallen, could have really put some pressure on us. Saying that, your best player today was your goalie, Jimmy Burgess.
So that pretty much wraps up everything here from Glenelg for today's big game. For those just checking in, Western Australia prevailing comfortably over South Australia in today's championship action on the men's side of things. For South Australia, they'll have a short time to regroup as they take on Taiwan tomorrow in the 3rd place game. But, of course, tomorrow afternoon now, Western Australia versus Victoria on the men's front. So make sure you're tuning into the Australian Lacrosse Network, as we'll be bringing you the women's final, followed by the men's final, live on our Facebook page and, of course, in high definition on our YouTube page. So, on behalf of myself, Tony Watts, producer Scotty Gill and cameraman Marty Baker, you're watching the Australian Lacrosse Network.
Percentage, and he shoot another 5. It might put SA back in this game.
Well, it's 13-6, still a little bit of time. Obviously, a whole quarter of lacrosse to go. So much for putting the cue in the back from Western Australia. Western Australia are now going to want to try and finish this game on the right footing.
So South Australia would still with the man up here. They've got overlap here.
He kicks
so
it over.
keep going.
Bowater gets on his
Bowater's gotta
bike.
go.
If he gets on his
gotta
bike,
go.
he's gone.
Got to go now. And there's
It's a fast break opportunity here as he turns on the Jets. If he draws the player, he doesn't. He goes to shot. Oh, Burgess has got a piece of that.
Again, fantastic finish. And just turn the Jets on.
Yeah. Sort of, you're down if you do, down if you don't. They're down a player, but they're also down a lot. They're up a player. Down a player, but they are down a lot of goals as well. There's a little bit of a kiss.
Holding. Now he's drawn a foul and he's put one away.
And there's another couple. Here comes a couple of penalties.
Okay. That's a
over in CBO. So we've got 4 of the Netanya crew out here today. So big congratulations to those guys as we kick the ball around. Brothers has got all day, rips one from low to high and just caresses the inside of the pipe there. And I know you'll be giving Finn a bit of a crack after the game on that one.
Although, good or bad publicity, it's still publicity.
Exactly right. Tyler
Right,
Redman gets a bit of
another
space.
opportunity. Yeah, and there it is. Manages to just get that back with an assist.
I like the look of a tall defender like Clothier. Throws good stick, doesn't he?
Yeah, but they've just fallen off like that, and there's two
Just
guys
needs to get a
sitting on
little
the
bit
crease
quicker.
here. 2 guys sitting on the crease. Oh, hello.
Oh, Finn Morgan through the 5 hole.
That was the one that he missed before.